On Sunday, September 10th, 2023, Groundzero360 hosted a special exhibition opening at St Bonaventure University's Regina A Quick Arts Centre to commemorate the 22nd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. This event featured over 70 renowned artists from around the world, each creating special artworks that depicted their personal memories of 9/11. Among these artists were notable figures such as Sean Scully, Huey O'Donoghue, Nicola McLean, Eamon Coleman, James Searles, Michael Collins and Jim Fitzpatrick, all of whom showcased their work at this significant occasion. On Saturday, September 9th, first responders, 9/11 families and dignitaries gathered at the 9/11 Memorial at St Bonaventure University for a prayer service, uniting to remember the victims and their families. During the event, Father Michael Duffy delivered a moving speech, sharing his memories of the legendary FDNY chaplain, Father Michael Judge. He also received a presentation from 9/11 family members.
I think Father Michael Judge's legacy will be his pastoral approach to people, his connection with people. As I said, he never wrote a book or gave a great lecture or anything like that, but everybody felt connected to him. He was everybody's best friend. When anything happened to anybody he knew, they'd get on the phone and tell him. Baptism, death, someone in the hospital, anything significant in their lives, they wanted him to be part of it.
SBU President Dr. Gingrich was presented with an honour. And in his address, he emphasised the importance of educating his students about 9/11 and ensuring they remember the events surrounding the terror attacks.
Many of our students right now, they're 18 to 22-year-olds, they were born after 9/11. They were born after September 11, 2001, and they've heard these stories. They kind of know a little bit about it, but they didn't live through that. And so one of our goals is to have as many students as possible to see this exhibit, then not only see the exhibit, but engage in conversation about it and really understand kind of the importance of this moment in U.S. history and the tragedy of it all. We're always looking for ways to live out our Franciscan mission, and that's about care for the world. It's about care for the earth, and it's about restoration. It's about when pain happens, when trouble happens, when tragedy happens, how do we bring God's love to this world, and how do we bring people back together and help them in their sorrow? How do we help them in their trials and tribulations? And how do we bring a sense of joy back to our great community here? And I see this exhibit as being one way that we can really restore relationships and restore a sense of love and joy in a world that's often feels very painful and very hurtful and very negative. We're bringing that sense of joy back.
Olean Mayor Bill Aiello attended the event and shared his own personal 9/11 story.
You know, I lived it, and I was on the Olean Police Department. When it happened, I was working that day here, and we were glued to the TV, and it was so much uncertainty then. And now, since here we are, 22 years later, and we're still remembering and honoring and never forgetting what took place on that day. It was just unbelievable. It was like watching a bad movie, I did not see the first plane hit. I did turn on the TV, and I was on the Olean Police Department, and I turned on the TV in our training room, and I did witness the second plane hitting, and listening to the announcers go, "Oh my God, another plane has hit the second tower," and watching the towers come down and the devastation, and being glued to the TV and thinking, my God, those poor people, and what is going on in our nation. So it really made you, you wanted to be there and help, but it was, New York City is 5-6 hours away from Olean, and just feeling helpless because you couldn't be there to try to help, and wondering what's going on, and then finding out where the other planes hit, and just saying, oh my God, what's going on? Is this an all-out attack? We didn't know at that time what was going on. So being helpless, not knowing, it was just a sad, sad feeling, for weeks and months and years, and having to remember all of this tragedy. We must never forget. We found out just how strong we are as Americans, and, we will never forget. We will always overcome.
Retired NYPD officer Jimmy Smith and his daughter Patricia spoke to SBU students, with Jimmy reflecting on the memory of his late wife, the heroic police officer Moira Smith.
94% of the first responders killed on 9/11 were Catholics, and there's a reason for that. The city of New York is about 62% Catholic. A lot of Catholics go into service, and it was part of who Moira was as a person, that she was going to go out and make sure she was going to put herself between danger and the innocent. And that's what she did on that day. And she could have left. She came out of the building carrying people multiple times, but she kept going back in. As long as there was one person left, she was going to be in there. And she was helping a woman who was having an asthma attack on like the second or third floor when the building collapsed. But that's, I try to live my life celebrating her life, who she was, and what she did. And we all, you guys know people, we all have friends who've passed. I think of her as a force that still to this day, she inspired a lot of people. A lot of police officers look up to her, and our family does.
Maggie McDonnell, also present at the commemoration.
Tonight we had an opportunity to listen to people tell their 9/11 stories, and it hits home. But at the same time, it's important. That's what makes people remember. If you don't touch them personally, if the stories and the pictures that they see and everything in the exhibit, if they can't connect with it, they're not going to remember the exhibit. They're not going to remember 9/11, and they won't remember Brian and all the others that died that day. So the more personal it is, the more they're able to attach themselves to the exhibit or a particular painting or a photograph or Brian's things, for instance, in a case, and all of those posters that are on the wall. Those are things that I don't think they can forget when they see that. They'll remember that forever, I should hope. It's not a good thing to remember something bad, but by doing so, I think they might prevent it from ever happening again.
Evelyn Penman, the executive director at the Quick Arts Centre, played a pivotal role in collaborating closely with Groundzero360 to bring the exhibition to SBU.
Not only is it an exhibition that has been seen around the world by many people, but the connections to St Bonaventure and to the Franciscan life here at St Bonaventure, it just brings it all together. We have found so many connections between our alums, our friars, and our faculty that we thought that this exhibition was really something we needed to bring to the community.
Honoured guest and Groundzero360 ambassador Dolores McCall was given a special presentation at the event.
A book about Father Michael Judge that has been put together, and we'd like to give that to you as well. Again, just a small token of our great appreciation.
Thank you so much.
For you.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you.
The exhibition will be on display at the Quick Arts Centre until December 2023. For more information about Groundzero360, please visit groundzero360.org or connect with them on Facebook at Groundzero360.